Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Colorful Silk, the Patchwork Witch, and I am doing my very first video, and it is a video response to Brent's Moon Baby's hashtag Tarot Collector. Okay, so I'm very excited to do this. I found that I have an extensive amount of decks where I'll be able to do this hashtag, and it was very fun watching everybody do theirs. So I decided, why not make this my first video on this channel and make a video response. So here it goes. So um our first prompt was your most expensive deck. Okay, my most expensive deck happens to be the Manzel Tarot. Okay. Um, it was $87. And this actually was not the deck that I paid for. I paid for the holographic edition, but after getting in touch with them and never hearing a response back, I said, well, maybe Spirit wants me to have this one. So these are the backs. And what I like about this deck is that it is very Afrocentric and really good for to a certain extent ancestor work. These cards are very, very beautiful. I love them. They are just absolutely, absolutely perfect for me. So that is my most expensive deck. The second prompt is your least expensive deck. And my least expensive deck is this tarot deck that I got out of Five and Below. So that was probably about $6. I like the artwork. Mine is square. I cut the bottoms off because I really didn't resonate with the keywords that they had on there. Um, everybody interprets the cards differently. So I did not like what they had. So I just cut them off. But the artwork is really, really nice. It is definitely Rider-Waite Smith based, and a very good beginner deck for someone if they really can't get with the original Rider-Waite Smith. Okay. So the next prompt was the deck that collectors would want to steal from your collection. And with that being said, I don't have like a lot of indie decks or super expensive decks or super out of print decks. Um, but I chose my Catheris tarot. These are the backs, pretty big. Um, because I haven't really seen it a lot. I know there's some people that do have it and they do know about it. And this deck uh is a oracle deck and a tarot deck. So some of the cards are landscape, but being that I haven't really seen a lot of people with it, I chose this deck, and it's very beautiful, very, very beautiful, and I love it. I honestly, I would not have a deck in my collection that I don't like. So number four, my strangest deck. Well, I have a few strange decks. I was gonna put the Marielle, but I decided against that, and I decided to go with my Navigators of the Mystic Sea. Um, oh, sorry about that. Very strange artwork. Um, but I really, really love this deck. I've been crushing on this deck for a long time. Ooh, I read reversals, so I've been crushing on this deck for a long, long time. And when I say a long time, I mean a long time. And it is weird. It is weird, but there's a system behind it. And if I can ever get a hold to the accompanying books that go to this so that I can read the actual story, that would be great. So this is my strangest deck, the Navigators of the Mystic Sea. Um, the next prompt is the deck that other collectors are least likely to have in their collection. And I chose the New Tarot by Warren Tusk simply because I've never seen anybody have this deck. I've never seen any reviews on it. I've never seen anybody do a walkthrough or anything of this deck. And this deck, I would call it a tarot deck, because a tarot and an oracle deck. Yes, I've written on it. Because this deck essentially picks up where the Rider Waite Smith left off. And there is a total of 78 cards with a major arcana. They do have 4 different suits, um, chains, masks, tombs, and let me see if I can find the other, and keys. Chains, masks, tombs, and keys. And this deck is really, to me, it's excellent. It's excellent with any Rider Waite Smith deck that you have. I usually pair it with a Marchetti deck, because the artwork is kind of like Marchetti artwork. Um, so I usually pair it with that deck that I have, and it's just a little bit deeper. And I've never seen anybody use it. I've never seen anybody review it or anything. I'm gonna do an extensive review of this deck on my channel, so look out for that. The next prompt is your oldest deck. Well, my oldest deck is, you guessed it, okay, the Rider Waite Smith, the yellow box. Now, I took the borders off of mine because, I just didn't like it. But for the most part, I love this deck. This is the deck that I learned on. This was a gift from a good friend of mine. And this was the first deck that I really got tarot related, to start my new tarot journey. Because I've had tarot decks before, and at that time I wasn't reading them. I was just strictly collecting them for art purposes. But now that I read the decks, it's double the fun. Okay, so this is my oldest deck, the Rider Waite Smith in the yellow box. My newest deck would be the Black Tarot. And I also considered putting this in Strange's deck, but this is the newest one that I got. I love this artwork. I'm a creepy type person, so I love the creepy factor. I love the surrealism factor. Anything esoteric, I love it. So that's just to say that in my collection, I have a lot of dark decks. I'm really into shadow work, soul work, path work, and so. But this deck right here, I mean, just look at that. It is so damn weird, but I love it. And it's my newest deck. The deck that made me want to start collecting tarot is my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Cosmic Tarot. And I've had this deck before. It was actually given to me, and then lost it in storage or whatever. But the Hermit card, which is my card, I'm a Virgo. This card right here drew me in. When I first seen it, I was speechless. And I was like, I have to have that deck. I have to have this deck. So this is the deck that started the wanting to collect, for art purposes. And also at the time that I wanted it, I really wanted to learn how to read tarot. But however, I guess at that time it was a little daunting for me. So I just started getting decks to collect. And this is definitely the deck. This is also a very deep deck for me. All of my decks are really good readers. So look at that. Look at that strength card. This is the deck that made me want to start collecting decks, the Cosmic Tarot. And the last prompt was, what is your favorite deck? And my decks are very sensitive. All of my decks are my babies. They're my favorites. But right now, I have to say the Hoodoo Tarot. And this is a favorite of mine because it reminds me of Old South. Now, my family, of course, is from the South. They're from, my mom's from Alabama, my dad's from North Carolina. And when I look at these cards, they bring back memories. And then there are a lot of, if I can get this right, then there are a lot of stories in here that that are associated with the different cards that I've never heard of before, which is good. So this is good for me. It's a remembrance, um, always knowing who I am. But this was just a breath of fresh air because this is what I've grown up with. So this is my favorite deck. So I would like to thank you all for joining me on this video response, hashtag Tarot Collector. I will link down the original video below. Thank you very much for joining me. And I will have lots and lots more content on my channel. This is just the first video. I have lots of things that I want to say and I want to show, and I want my voice to be heard. So it's nice to see you guys, and I hope to see you again. Thank you so much. Enjoy.